Trench Mob Testimonies, where we dive into how your test became your testimony. What's going on, Trench Mob family, man? Today we have a special guest on here, man. Former Georgia Bulldog, former 5th round pick for the Colts, pass rush specialist, defensive line coach. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Coach Marcus Howard.
What's going on, man? How y'all doing, man? I'm glad to be on here with y'all, man.
No doubt, brother. We glad to have you on here too, man. We got Coach Tony Davis on here with us today, man. We're gonna rock this thing out the right way, man. So kind of just diving right into it. Born and raised in South Carolina, right? But you know, in my eyes, you know, you're kind of a Georgia native now. I don't think you left Georgia since you went to school there. You know, just kind of looking back on it, man. You're 6'1", 245 pound. You know, linebacker slash defensive end. You know, you go to Georgia, and you have a remarkable senior year. You started 13 games, first team all conference, 41 tackles, 10.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and you win the Sugar Bowl and you get the MVP in the Sugar Bowl. I remember watching that game, but you went crazy. So just kind of looking back on that, man, how was your years at UGA, man, playing, you know, outside backer to DN, you know, and how did you get adjusted from going from that outside backer position to that true hand in the ground, hand in the dirt defensive end?
Man, you know, UGA, man, it was a treat, man. It was a pleasure, man, coming from South Carolina, from a high school called Hanahan, a 2A school, man. Just coming up here playing some real football, you know. We don't have, you know, the biggest football we had down in South Carolina was 4A. So I got you know what I'm saying? So I got the UGA, man. It was a big adjustment, man. But I loved every moment of it. The reason why I moved from linebacker to DN was because she was like, you know, it was hard. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. It was hard, man. I had a linebacker coach who was the D coordinator also by the guy named Brian Van Gorder. I don't know if you ever met him, but man, he was tough, man. He demanded a lot on you, a lot from you. And at the time I got to school, I was 17. You know, I didn't turn 18 till October, so that shit was, I mean, it was just going over my in and out my head. You feel me? So I had, you know, he left, and another coach came in, and they already had plans to move me, so I moved and I just embraced it.
No doubt, man. That's what you kind of got to do, right? That's what you teach your kids to do now when you coach them, man. They got to embrace some of the, you know, adjustments they got to make. They got to embrace some of the, you know, for lack of better words, the suck of it. You know, it ain't gonna be a great situation at all times, man. It's football, you know. So, and you kind of touched on one coach, but did you have any coach there that was like that helped you become who you are right now on your journey at UGA? Did you have a certain coach that kind of, you know, just kind of help you along the way?
Yeah, I had a coach by the name of John Fabris, man. He was the a defensive ends coach, Coach Fabris, and Coach Garner was the D line coach, but John Fabris was my actual coach. He recruited me from South Carolina. He coached David Pollack, guys like David Pollack, a guy named Robert Gathers, who went and played for Cincinnati Bengals for a long time. And he was one of those coaches who just motivated you, really held you accountable, and the biggest thing was he gave you a chance, a real opportunity, right? He, you know, I still talk to him sometime today, and he's one of those coaches that, like, you know, when the coach knows all of the walk-ons name by first name, then you know he's really in it. So he's really giving guys an opportunity. He was a special teams coach, and he did the same thing. He carried on, you know, guys can get an opportunity to play special teams, and if you come in there and work hard, you're going to get an opportunity to play defensive line for him.
That's awesome, man. And just kind of spinning back, man. You know, after your senior year, man, I mean, you balled, man. You ran a 4.47, you know, a 35-inch vertical, man. Just talk a little bit about that. What went into your training, man, and how you prep to perform at the NFL Combine.
You know, so shit. Right after the season, man. You know, I was shocked that I got invited to the combine. To be honest, you know, I mean, you know, shit. Going to my senior year, I played, but not really. So I was just like, I'm gonna just play this year, and you know, I'm gonna go ahead and figure something out, right? But when I got that invite to the combine, I still didn't really have any plans, but the Sugar Bowl was setting me apart. Was then that's when agents started coming out the woodworks, because of Sugar Bowl, and I ended up going to man, I forgot the name of it, but I remember the guy name. The guy name is Pete Marito. I think he changed his his company name, but he's down there in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. A lot of guys don't go there. I mean, I remember seeing guys like Franco and all that, and he really helped me get my 40 time down. It was just a whole different type of intensity training because at this point, man, you're one step from getting to the combine. So getting to the NFL. So those are the steps that I took. I went to go train people on Marito.
Okay, and then so the next step, like you said, is getting drafted. So
Yeah,
you wind up getting drafted by the Colts, man. You're on your high.
yeah, man.
Things really didn't go that well for you, but just talk a little about that, your experience getting drafted and your time in NFL, and when did you know it was kind of time to move on to the CFL?
So I got drafted, man. Shit, things were going great. You feel me? I had my D line coach, a guy by the name of John Terling, man. He was a guy. I got drafted the perfect situation for me. It was play pass to run. Being a smaller guy, you had guys like myself there, Robin Mathis, Dwight Freeney, those type of guys. We had a D tackle that was like 260. That was um, he was an undrafted free agent that started some games there. So like it was the perfect situation, but when injuries, when you can't get hurt. That's the name of the game, and a guy hurt, a new defensive coordinator came in there, and things just didn't go my way. But I enjoy every moment, especially bonding with Robert Masters. To this day, he's still my mentor right now. He's a great guy. You feel me? So the following year, I played a year for the Colts, had to sell a year. Then I was on. I was ready to turn up. I was in with the Tennessee Titans at the time, and a great defensive line coach, man. He just let me go, right. Jim Washburn, same type of philosophy, play pass to run. But then I tore my tricep, and the injuries got me the tricep there. The injuries got me with the hamstring with the Colts. And the following year, the lockout hit, right? And I was like, shit, man, I just want to play some football at this point, right? I wasn't going to really get a real opportunity with an NFL team because the lockout hit. And once training camp started, they're going to roll with the guys that they already have. So I went to the CFL and had a lot of success, man, and I just took off from there.
And kind of looking at that, man, your CFL career was on point, man.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of hit its peak
Mm-hmm.
in 2015 when
Mm-hmm.
you win the Grey Cup with the Edmonton Eskimos, man.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that season, and you go through your first 2 years, your first two teams at for the NFL, and then you get injured, and then you go to the CFL, and then you have a first couple of years that are pretty good, and then now you hit the peak of it, right? You win a Grey Cup. Kind of talk about that 2015 season.
Well, man, that season, man, I got to CFL, man. I had a cool coach, man. But the longer you get in this business and you be around it, man, you have some coaches that are cool, and then you have some coaches that hold you accountable, right? And my
Mm-hmm.
first couple of years, I played great. I had a cool coach, but he didn't hold the team accountable, so we never really was going to get anywhere for real, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
a guy by the name of Chris Jones came, and he came in and held us accountable. The first thing he did in the team meeting was, I don't care if you guys should rush the passer, but y'all gonna have to do my scheme. You're gonna have to do things my way. And I'm like, man, I looked at my plan, I was like, man, what is dude talking about? You feel me? And but he just held us accountable. He made us watch more film. He made us drop in coverage. It was just so disciplined. His first year there, we didn't win the championship. I actually broke my thumb. But then the second year there, we won the championship, man. So it was just, it was a good time to be a Edmonton Eskimo, but just to be a football player. When you win a championship, man, at any level, it's one of the greatest feelings ever.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I think every football player or coach in general, they're chasing that high, man. And you was a part of it, no matter what level it was at, no matter if it's CFL, NFL, AFL. You win
Mm-hmm.
a championship, man. That's a hell of a task, and you did a great job of that, man. Kudos to you on that. Kind of speaking on your career for the CFL. you know, in 2017, you decided to kind of let that be the last year that you play
Yeah.
in the CFL. Kind of what played part in you making that decision, and you know, kind of talk about that decision.
Well, man, shoot, at this time, I done played a whole lot of ball. At the same time, I done had a whole lot of injuries, right? Like, but injuries, I mean, like when you have surgeries and stuff, man. And I'm a real pass rusher for real, man. I'm a die. I'm trying to get to the quarterback, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're winning the game. We're up by like three scores or whatever, and it's like 20 seconds left in the game. I'm like, shit, man, I want to get a sack. Like I'm out there, and I get off the ball, and you hear pow. It sounds like a shotgun. And I tore my Achilles, and I was like, man, shit, right there. I was like, damn. At this point, I'm like, what, 32, maybe 33, something like that. You know how it is, man. That father time, man, it don't wait. You feel me? So at that point, I was like, I'm gonna just hang it up. Like teams called me the following year, but in my heart, I knew, man, I don't want a championship. A bunch of injuries. At this point, I just want to move on to the next phase of my career, my life.
And then, a marvelous career, man. You off doing great things now. Just, obviously a pass rushing is a unique trait and skill set that you have, man. Tell me a little bit about your coaching philosophy, man, and how do you train your guys? How do you get them to, and visualize and execute the things that you once was able to do?
Well, man, man, I want to say my coach. I mean, I believe in fairness, right? I believe in integrity. I believe in respect. I'm big on respect, man. Like that's a big thing for me, right? I believe in being transparent. I tell the guys, like if you're if you're a good player, I'm going to tell you a good player. I'm gonna make you feel like you're a good player. But if you're a bad player, and you're not working at it, shit, I'm gonna let that you're a bad player. And I hope, which I also believe is motivation, motivating guys. So I hope that me telling you that you're a bad player, but I also believe that I can help everybody, right? Until you show me that you A can't do it, or B that you don't want to do it. So when I'm trying to motivate you and get you right, and I'm being honest with you and transparent, and I'm consistent with it, right? Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, man. Like I am who I am. I got that trait from my defensive line coach, Coach Fabris at Georgia. He looked me in the eye and told me, listen, when I moved from linebacker to DL, he said, "Listen, none of these coaches, nobody here really wants you here anymore. You feel me?" And I was on like year 3. I'm like, damn, like, and he told me that, and that's when I started to play better. I was like, okay, I got to pick it up, right? So him being transparent with me and being honest with me, I remember that as a young man now, as a growing up, I try to do the same thing with my guys.
Absolutely, and kind of, staying there as well. You mentioned, your coach really getting in on the film room with you during your time and your career playing, and how much of that are you doing with your guys, and building the individual game plan before you go out and train with them?
Well, so a lot of guys that I deal with now, man. I've been dealing with these guys since high school. I've been fortunate enough to, I got into the game right after, and I don't know. I was young and guys just wanted to train with me, right? So I got fortunate with that. And as I got older, like, I already know what these guys are about. You feel me? But my new guys that I get in, I kind of teach all the guys the same thing at first. The older, the more savvy I get now. If it's a bigger guy, I'm gonna give him a little bit of finesse, but I'm gonna work more power with him now. You feel me? Because like I'm still learning also, right? And then what coaches don't. I don't know. But myself, I don't mind asking the guy, shit, what you want to work on? You feel me? So it's my job to know to have a big toolbox also, so that I can't train the big man like the small man, right? Yeah, I don't want to train the small man like the big man also, right? I want to give them a little bit of both, but really give those guys what they need, man. So I'm all about asking guys, hey man, what you need, what you want to do, and when they tell me what they want to do, then I go look at some film, and then I bring it to those guys, and we just work on it.
And you do a heck of a job at making sure you individualize your guys, and by asking them, that's being that individualizing.
Mm-hmm.
to what they want and need to do to get better.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you're doing so much work and training so many guys and you're coaching, and then you got to get this guy over here that's coming from a college or NFL prospect that's trying to learn something. All right,
Yeah.
coach, I want to learn this. Can you
Yeah.
teach? He's like, yes, I can. I've seen you do this. I watched your film from Georgia.
Yeah.
I watched your film from the CFL. I seen what you can do. Can you teach me how to do that? And
Yeah.
you do a heck of a job at that, man. And it's kind of the point of the podcast where I want to get into kind of what allowed you to come on to Trench Mob Testimonies tonight, man, and talk about your testimony. What test, what challenge, what difficulty that you went through in life that has made you the man that you are right now, and has eventually got you to the point where you are right now in life. So what's your biggest test in life that allow you to come over here and tell your testimony?
I mean, it's a couple of things. I would say two things. One thing I already touched on was, when that coach, looked me in the eye, and told me, hey, man, listen, nobody wants you here right now, man. And if you don't pick your shit up, you're not going to be here. Or like, you'll be here, but you won't be here. You feel me? I mean, I don't know, sometimes you play ball. You know how it is, man, as a coach. I mean, I do it myself. Like, man, this guy can't help me, man. I ain't going to really, you feel me? Like, you're not going to deal him as much and stuff like that. And as a player, man, like, you feel that. You feel me? So when he told me that really changed my whole outlook on, like, the way about going about working. You feel me? And then, I had the opportunity in the NFL, and I didn't work as hard, It was short, but, like, I knew, you feel me? Like, when it ended, I was like, damn, man, I just wish I worked harder. You feel me? Like, so having that, and then when I have to go to the CFL, and you have injuries up there, and I just said, well, one thing I'm going to work hard. You feel me? Like, I'm just going to keep working. And the year we won the Grey Cup, I got injured. When I came back, the coach, he made me try out just to get back on the field. I'm like, man, I just led the team in sacks last year. You feel me? Like, you making me try out. He made me go on special teams. I had to do kickoff and doing the Grey Cup. But guess what? Shit, I went down, I made the first tackle in the Grey Cup. You feel me? Like, so I had to suck my pride up as a man, being that I'm a good player, to go do that, and I ended up being the best player on the defense in the Grey Cup game with that, because the guy in front of me, he got scared of the moment was too big for him, right? And I got in there, so that was just just never stopping. You feel me? Like, you get injured, I come back, I keep going. Somebody coach tell me they don't want you. Shit, I pick I tie my shoes up, gotta go to work. You feel me? So just never stop and just never take a no for an answer.
Hey, and you're a testament of it, man. You're doing a hell of a job of it right now, and I think that's what we got to do as man. I've been told the same thing, man, in college. And I love Coach Ryle to this day. And my junior year, man, he came and told me, he's like, look, you got to step it up. It's time. It's got to be your year where you play a lot more than you on the sideline.
Yeah.
I was a freaking backup my entire career, man. And I'm not ashamed of that. I had some guys in front of me that were straight dogs. They were draft picks, but I knew I could be better. I knew I could work harder. And I did that. I changed my body, man, and had one of the best seasons I could have as a backup. But, for myself, man, I think that changed me as a man. I get that. Somebody being transparent with you and telling you you're not good enough, man, I'll be damned. I'm gonna show you I'm good enough.
I'm gonna show you.
What I mean? So, man, that's a blessing that you came out and said that, man. So some people need to hear that. Some one of these players, some of these coaches, they need to hear, hey, you probably do need to be transparent with your players. And some of the players need to be, open and honest to themselves. Like, when they hear a coach say something about, how your game is not up to par, don't get upset and go transfer, and jump in the transfer portal. Go work harder and get better, So, man, I appreciate you opening up and saying that, brother, because that's big time, man. I appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, man. You're doing a hell of a job of what you do. You're training guys the right way. you're training them to be hard, tough nosed players. And your training is on point, man. Because I'm watching the clips, and we got one of you guys here
Yeah,
that's doing this thing here
yeah,
with
yeah.
us now. So, man, I appreciate you, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. And those words, man, they mean a lot, especially coming from somebody like you and a prayer. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, man. Man, I like what you're doing, man. And shit, anytime you want me to be on, man, just let me know. You feel me?
No doubt.
All right, man.
Appreciate you, Marcus.
I appreciate you, big dog.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. That's Trench Mob Testimonies, and we're out.